Well, good morning, everybody. Well, we have an exciting talk today that we're going to have. It's called The Theological Basis of the Devil According to Bhagavad Gita. So this should be a very interesting discussion. So, yeah, let's see where this goes. And let's make it fun, man. You know, studying religion shouldn't be like a morose activity. It should be fun, interesting. You know, the truth, God is fascinating, interesting, enlivening, gives life to the soul. So that's how we hold our discussions here. Not a morose thing, not a negative thing or anything like this. But we're going to get into negativity. We're going to find the theological basis of the devil and negativity and all of that stuff, you know. There's actually a logic behind it, why it's here and so many things. Bhagavad Gita explains so many wonderful truths that are just kind of unclear, that in the Bible you're kind of not like sure about, you know, well, how does this take place? No, a lot of things that are not logically explained. Well, we're going to do that here, get some logical explanations about who is and what is this devil thing here, right? Let's check it out. Okay, so there's a chapter in Bhagavad Gita called The Three Modes of Nature, and this is where we'll find information about the devil here. Okay? And we're not going into a negative thing, or we're not going to, you know, talk about sending people to hell and all that. So, no, we just want to know, who is this devil character? You know, does he have any relation with God? Is it a he or is it an energy? What's going on with that? Okay, so this is the three modes of nature. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, this is Krishna, in Bhagavad Gita, as it is, explains Krishna is a manifestation of the Father, God, incarnate in this world. Yeah. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Again I shall declare to you this supreme wisdom, okay? The best of all knowledge, knowing which all the sages attain supreme perfection. By becoming fixed in this knowledge, one can attain to the transcendental nature like my own." See, transcendental nature like God's nature. You know, there's an old statement in the Bible where a prophet says, "God's thoughts are not like your thoughts." See? So that's actually pretty profound. It's related to this here. See, God, you know, actually God thinks. We think also. But there's a difference between man's thoughts and God's thoughts. Man's thoughts usually are worldly, to do with this world here. See? God's thoughts are to do with the totality of everything. Okay? Like how it's all connected. The world, his transcendental nature. Okay, you know, this is God's thoughts have to do with all of those kind of subject matters. It's kind of a holistic view, not just a partial view. Man's thoughts, usually, unless he's enlightened and awakened, is to do with just the world. You know, how to make money, how to survive. You know, just taking care of my family and my life and my body and this. So this is actually part of coming in tune with God's thinking, God's thoughts, God's creation, his design, actually. Right? Bhagavad Gita was like a revelation into this. Same thing with the Bible, what the prophets have said, what Jesus have said, is bringing us more closer into harmony with the design of God. You know, and what he has for all of this. Right? And a lot of people think, well, I know everything about God. I've read the Bible. Or I've studied Bhagavad Gita and I know everything about the truth. It's all ego. You don't know nothing, man. Even those who have realized God consider they think, wow, I know so little. See, that's the person that's free of false ego. So the total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bard. See? So basically, God is our Father, man. He impregnates this world, and we're, we're living because of His impregnation of the universe. So it should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material existence, and that I am the seed-giving Father. Material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Okay, now we're getting closer to the idea, what is this devil thing here? Okay. So when the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, O mighty-armed Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by these three modes. See, the living entity is eternal. It's like a spiritual spark coming from the Father, God, comes into this material manifestation and becomes conditioned by these three principal energies. Who's ever heard of this? If you're a Christian, you've never probably heard of this unless you read Bhagavad Gita. This is a secret knowledge, actually. If you're not religious at all, you probably never heard of this unless you studied this information, this knowledge, this truth. Okay? We're hearing it right here. This could be a revelation for those who are watching. So, every one of us, our soul, our spirit here is in here, and we become conditioned by this material nature, and it's of three modes. So let's go into what these three modes are. O sinless one, the mode of goodness, being purer than the others, is illuminating, and it frees one from sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode become conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge. Okay? So the mode of goodness is like if I study this Bhagavad Gita and then I start to learn about actions and reactions, how to be a more regulated person, okay? How to stay away from foods, people, actually, energies. Different people emanate different modes of nature. How to stay around environments that are conducive to the mode of goodness, like in nature. See, so this is knowledge. See, this will make me happy because sinful reactions don't happen when I'm harmonizing with that mode. See? Sinful reactions come when I'm living according to the conditioning of the mode of ignorance or passion. Even passion, like a good example, this is just a fascinating study of it, just to understand how these energies are working in this world. So an example of mode of goodness could be a religious person, a Brahmin, regulated, likes to keep good association, good company, realizes that if you hang out closely with robbers, you'll be a robber. If you hang out with good people, ethical like this, you'll become ethical. See, like this, so you avoid causing these reactions, sinful reactions. Now, this is getting closer to understanding what this devil idea is. Okay? Actually, in the Vedic terminology, they have another word for that. They call it Maya. See, so now this Maya pertains to this mode of ignorance. See, the mode of ignorance is the lowest mode of nature. Okay? And this is what causes people, well, actually, let's not get too far ahead. Let's just go to what Krishna says and then gradually get into this here. Okay. Okay, so the mode of goodness is pure, but there's a conditioning there because you feel happy and you think, wow, this is it, man. I'm happy. I know everything, or there's a kind of a pride there. You feel yourself superior. You look at all these other people under the lower modes, passion and ignorance, and you think, oh boy, those poor schmucks. I mean, you know, you feel superior. See, it's a conditioning. Still, you're not free yet. So the mode of passion is born of unlimited desires and longings. Now, if you've never heard this before, I'm sure you can identify with this. If you just feel your energy, man, are you desiring things? Are you, I just gotta get married. I have to. It's like, see, unlimited desires. I just need money. I so much want some money. You know, see, that's also it's like, it's not like I need money because I have to live. It's I want money, I need money, and you just possessed by that idea, and it just forces you to work day and night. See, hankering, you're desiring it. Or you're kind of poor, you really to be happy, I need this money. See? So this is mode of passion, born of unlimited desires. You ever heard these people say, I live on stress? Man, if I'm not stressed out, man, I got no energy, because they're moving like really fast and just all day long they're working and working out and working in the factories or wherever they're working. See, mode of passion. They like to be, I can't live in the country, man. It's too quiet there. See, that's the mode of goodness up in the mountains or by the sea or something. I got to be in a city, man. Where there's action and, see, nightlife. Going out, man. I work all day, man. I'm going to go out and enjoy the world, you know. See, mode of passion. Okay. O son of Bart. Yeah. The mode of passion is born of unlimited desires and longings. You're longing for something. O son of Kunti, and because of this, the embodied living entity is bound by material fruit of actions. So material, it's like, let's see. See, you're forced to act because of these fruits. You know, it's like you're always thinking of doing business. In other words, it's like whenever in relationship, you're bound by a fruitive mentality. You're looking at person. Is there any profit in our relationship? Is there any profit in going here or going there? Is there any profit in this business? See, you're always conditioned by this profit mentality or loss. And if you lose, you feel, I lost. Oh man, the stock market went down. See, stuff like that. Hey, Richard, welcome. You're my faithful audience guy. Thanks for joining. We're having this amazing class on Bhagavad Gita, so welcome. It's just so fun. I just love, to discuss the truth. So, okay, we're talking about the mode of goodness. I'm sure you know that. Mode of goodness, mode of passion. These are 3 modes of nature in the chapter in Bhagavad Gita. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. We're going to find out what is this devil, the theology of what the devil is, according to Bhagavad Gita. Okay? So now we're getting closer to the devil here. That's not yet the devil. Not quite. Sort of. You can say all the modes, the devil has got his hand in that, in all the modes of nature, because you're conditioned and you're still not set free. You're still kind of in like a bit of a prison. Okay. All right, so, O son of Bharta, know that the mode of darkness, born of ignorance, is the delusion of all embodied living entities. The results of this mode are madness, indolence, sleep, which bind the conditioned soul. Okay? So this is where the devil is. A lot of people have personified the devil, yet it can be personified but a good way to look at the devil is it's an energy that if you enter into it, it covers your knowledge and your consciousness. You become crazy. You do things like flying planes into a building. Just like on the news yesterday, people just went out and they shot a bunch of people up in the airport and then blow themselves up. And as was 41 other people in the wounding 250. This is the mode of ignorance. See, this conditions to be living beings to be crazy. If you ever wonder why people, you wonder, why is God like this? Why are people so nuts? It's not God's fault. That's why he comes as in an incarnation, as Jesus, as Krishna. And like in Krishna, he's teaching, well, this is the mode of ignorance. Be careful, man. Watch where you put your energy, man. Don't be associating with a robber and you might become a robber, man. Don't go around, hang around people that are into blowing up people. They'll, do some weird things to your mind and cause you to become a terrorist or something. Ridiculously dumb, you see. So that mode of energy causes one to become mad, crazy. See? So again, if you're in the mode of goodness, association can cause all kinds of havoc. You won't want to hang around people like that. But if you're conditioned by the mode of ignorance, or you don't have the kind of knowledge, you might just go into hang out with people like that and think, well, let me find out what they're doing. And you get close to them and then you become, like what they call brainwashed. See, brainwashed by some other crazy people. They're also crazy, so you become crazy too. And and then you do crazy things, and people look, why is God like? It has nothing to do with God per se. It's just his, it's just like, there's light and then there's darkness. Where do you want to go, the light or the dark? So the light is more mode of goodness. It's not the highest light or the greatest light. It's still considered the darkness on one level. All the modes are still considered part of the darkness because you're conditioned. You're still controlled. You're not free. Okay? You got to get to the levels of what they call like liberation and salvation, and beyond that, love, loving God. This is more where you're beyond the modes of nature. Okay. So the devil basically is this mode of ignorance. Anybody who gets caught in it, you become like part of the devil's henchmen. Okay? And everybody personifies the devil as a person, but this basically this energy that causes one to do terrible things. See, like the guy who killed the rest of the Pandavas at the end of the Kurukshetra war. Yeah, that's another good example. This guy thought he was going to please his guru by killing these children. Just going around the camp and just killed them all. And then he goes back to his guru, and the guru says, "Will you get away from me, you crazy person?" He did it totally insane. This is totally against religious principles and all of this. So, wherever it is, man, there's all kinds of stuff. When you get in the mode of ignorance, people in the mode of ignorance, they get very lazy and they start, want to sleep a long time. And these modes affect all of us to one degree or another. There's predominant ones, like if we're regulated and we're we keep good association and we're that's a predominant in our lives. But hey, there's always these other modes trying to cause us to act in other ways, like maybe you want to sleep too much, maybe oversleep or something like that. And we all got these modes are always like harassing people to more or less. See? So this is the theological basis of the devil. It's called the mode of ignorance. See? So mode of ignorance, and everything is related to these different modes. It's the foods we eat, the environments that we live in. If the city is the mode of passion, country or the mountains is the mode of goodness. Somewhere with peaceful, the forest, and the mode of ignorance is like usually the bars at night. Is there a other side concept in Krishna Sada? What do you call? What do you mean by other side? I'm not sure. So go ahead and put them. Is there an other side concept in Krishna Siddhanta? So, explain what you mean, other side. I don't know what you're kind of driving at. Maybe I think I know, but I'm not sure. So, explain a little more what other side your meaning is. So, now the nature like Krishna's own, it depends. When Krishna comes here, sometimes he comes as an incarnation and he'll act according to religious principle. But he's just doing that for our benefit to help us elevate to the mode of mode of goodness, where you're more ethical and moral like this, something like this. His real nature is transcendental to all the modes. Okay. See, so that's where they use this term, mode of pure goodness. So the mode of pure goodness is above even the mode of goodness. It's complete purity. It's God's true nature. Right? So one level of that is the Brahman. The Brahman is above the mode of goodness even. Brahman is the salvation, liberation stage. But that's just the beginning of self-realization, really. I mean, it starts here with knowledge. See? And then we act according to this knowledge. See? And goes up to the mode of goodness. Okay? And then ultimately we transcend the mode of goodness into the mode of pure goodness. And that's when you get into states of bliss, rapture, a joyousness beyond the joy of the world, and a peace that surpasses understanding. But that's just the beginning. That's salvation. There's more if you want more. A lot of people say, I just want to be saved, man. Just put me in that Brahman, man. I just want to be in that womb of Brahman, man. That's fine. I'm saved. I'm just free. So just set me free. But not everybody is happy with that. See? Devotional service is the essence of bhakti yoga. Union with God. Bhakti means devotion. And union with the Supreme, and you do that through activity, or meditating on the Supreme, on God's nature, His highest nature. Okay? Aryam. I'm not sure what Aryam means. Yeah, so bhakti yoga, I mean, that's what we should really be talking about. The devil thing, okay, we've identified that. That's the mode of ignorance, okay. We got the mode of passion, okay, that's good. And now we know the mode of goodness, that's good. Now, the real topics of Bhagavad Gita that we should be interested in is devotional service, because this revives our eternal life, truly. Okay? So devotional service consists of hearing, chanting, remembering, serving, offering ourselves and paying obeisances to God. Could be, there's a lot of other processes, padasevanam and all of these things, the circumambulation thing, and so offering and worshiping like this, praying is a good way. But the main ways of devotional service that are really quickly effective, according to Krishna teaching in the Veda features Aryam. I still don't know what Aryam means. I'm sorry, I'm not that well versed in the Vedas. What is it, liberation or something? Aryam? So, yeah, so devotional service. So that when you hear about the incarnation, I mean, this is what Christians are doing, and this is what Vaishnavas are doing. Okay? Is they're doing devotional service when they pray to Jesus, or you pray to Krishna, or you pray to Lord Chaitanya, you pray to these authorized incarnations, or even praying to God. That's an authorized way of worshiping God, is to meditate on that which is beyond everything. The unknowable, it's just, Krishna says that, and to seek that place where we never return again to this world. So devotional service is, if you're a Christian and you hear you go to meetings with people and you worship Jesus, and you hear worship songs and you sing worship songs, you'll start to awaken this devotion. I've seen it like this morning. We had our little interfaith worship service where I put on this beautiful singer, and she sang inspired devotional songs about Jesus, and chanting Hare Krishna. Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe you can tell us. You explain. I have no idea what Ariam is. Yeah, if you want to explain it, I'm not sure. So because that gives the greatest happiness, is devotional service, is serving the Lord. And that's why the Lord comes in these different incarnations, like Jesus, like Krishna, like Lord Chaitanya, because those who become devoted. See, devotion happens automatically by serving the incarnations. Lord Ramachandra came here to make friends with the inhabitants, and they happened to be a lot of monkeys who wanted to serve him. So he said, the monkeys want to serve me? Okay, great. So they became elevated into the kingdom beyond the modes of nature, beyond this world. Even in this world, one can feel it. They can actually feel the awakening of this devotion and love for God. That sets us free. It's the highest liberation. The name of the evil Purusha. Okay, yeah. Well, that's Ahiram. Ahiram is the evil Purusha. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. It's kind of like, it all has, a lot of people think the devil is disconnected from God. He is and he isn't. It's kind of more like the backside of God. It's like his shadow. You can either hang out with God's shadow, you can be in God's shadow and looking at that, meditating on that, serving God's shadow. That's the modes of nature. Or you can serve his light feature. That's even beyond all the modes of nature. His light feature you get into by doing devotional service. Hearing about the name, the fame, the pastimes, and the qualities and characteristics of these incarnations. These incarnations come and they take a human form, human divine form, but their form is considered divine. Their qualities are divine. Their characteristics are transcendental to the modes of nature. If we get the mercy, we can feel the enlivenment from meditating and serving these qualities and characteristics of God by preaching them, talking about the Lord. There's an enlivenment there. Revelations come about. This is devotees, they like to do that. That's why they like to get together and talk about God and truth and all of that. That's the whole point of these discussions. I mean, once you get into this, you realize this is where real life is, and you understand why Jesus said, hey, take no thought for the morrow, man. Just you don't want to be thinking about mundane things or materialistic things when you're in the light. So he basically had his disciples just kind of go around, whoever could do it or would do it, or felt inspired to do it, Just go around and just think about God all the time, and just everything will pretty much align. People will help you, maintain. You just live a simple life, but you live in the good life. The good life is thinking about God, thinking about truth, talking about truth. There's life in that. There's no life in this stuff in the world. Is all dead. People talking about dead things. Devotees who are connected with the devotional potency, they don't like to talk about stuff of the world. No, they want enlightened topics about truth, because that gives life to the soul. What do you think Jesus is talking about? I have life and I can give it to you abundantly. Well, you have to stay connected with Jesus. You don't depart from that. You stay with the Word. See? If you want life and you're a Vaishnava, you stay with the Vedas. The Vedas are the inspired words of God. It gives life to those who are on the devotional path. Otherwise, you get caught up in the world, in the modes of nature, even goodness. It's still not a life. A person who has tasted the life of bhakti, of devotional service, even the mode of goodness seems uninteresting. It seems unreal, even. But people that are religious, whether you're a Christian or a Vaishnava in that kind of mode of nature, you think it's everything. Well, this is where it's at, man. I just want to be regulated and religious and like this. But that's not life yet. Life is doing this pure devotional service where you're pure-hearted, not motivated at all. You don't want to do business with God and people. You can be in a mode of goodness and still have a little business mentality. Okay? No, you honestly want to relish God's transcendental name, His fame, His pastimes, His qualities, because the life is in it, the love is in that, the devotion is in that. See? A lot of people have lost this. They don't know about this, even devotees, because even you can be a religious person, a Christian or a Vaishnava, and still conditioned by the mode of goodness. Man, I see many, and they think, well, this is where it's at, man. I'm happy. Man, I'm happy being regulated and doing these regulated things, and I read the Vedas and I recite them, and I have people, they like what I, kind of worship me a little bit, and I got I got a nice seat in the organization that I'm with. See? But when you start to really worship truth, you find even the organization will probably throw you out. Get rid of you, because you're not vibrating at that level anymore. That's usually the test. You want the praise of men or the praise of God? That's what it ultimately comes down to. We all face that. See, the praise of God is you feel good inside. You feel purified. The name of the evil, Purusha. Okay, and that you do, Prabhu. Yeah. So it's fun, man. To me, it's just worshiping God is fun, man. If it's not fun, I tell you, I go to temples, and I see people and churches sometimes. Some people have fun, worshiping God. If you're really ecstatic, the more ecstatic you get, that means you're having fun, and you found the happy God. Because God is happy, man. Inside, He's happy. You get this, even when He's crying tears, He's happy. There's a kind of a transcendental space there where whether you're sad or happy, it's all transcendental. It's all wonderful. It's all amazing. It's not the kind of sadness or unhappiness that we have in this world. So many religious institutions they're not in the life yet, especially when you call it institution. Just that word, this is a religious institution. It's like Anyway, those who really worship God generally have to kind of distance themselves from the institutions. It kind of cramps the style of worship. Takes the life out of the worship man often. Yeah. Anyway, this is what it is. But institutions are good. They're like librarians. They keep the books nice and through the generations. They have the books. Unfortunately, they usually taint them, because somebody gets in there want to be kind of mess them up and edit them for some profit's sake. What to do. Okay, so that's it. That's the theological basis of the devil when you use the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. It's an energy that makes you crazy and nuts, and makes people do bizarre things. So it's not God's fault. It's just what our misfortune for being caught up in that kind of conditioning of the mode of ignorance. So there's a way out of that. The way out of that is, if you've listened to this video, now you know. So if you're in that mode of ignorance, hang out with people that are at least in the mode of passion and have some ethics. Get moving a little bit. And if you're in the mode of passion and you want to be more peaceful and you're tired of being this longing for this and longing for that, then hang out with those in the mode of goodness. And if you're in any mode, ignorance, passion, or goodness, and you want to be done with it, everything, just do what Krishna says. Just transcend all of these modes of nature and surrender unto me. Surrender unto the name, the fame, the pastimes of the Lord, and hang out with those who are worshiping and doing pure devotional worship and service to God. Be done with it all, whatever mode you're predominantly in, doesn't matter. If you can understand what we're talking about here, you can do it. If you need help, let me know, man. Whoa. We're here, man. So the question is, who created Tamagun? Tamagun is ignorance. Tamagun. Well, you could say it's always been here. It's just like, God has always had a shadow. So the shadow has always been here, just like God's light has always been here. That's what. But you could say there's in this universe, Brahma, this is the secondary creator of God, has kind of worked with this energy somehow. I haven't gotten so much into that, to understand all these intricacies. These are just general things. If you want more information, go into first canto, somewhere first or second canto, on top. It goes into the creation. Yeah. So I don't have so much interest in getting a detailed explanation about that. I like more the transcendental subject matters now. 10th canto, Chaitanya Charitamrita, the sweetness and not so much the opulence of Krishna so much anymore. I like his sweetness, his beautiful qualities, his love, stuff like that. Which sun can make a shadow to God? Well, the shadow is just kind of an analogy. It's just his own light casts a shadow. It's just a way to understand this energy. It's just some kind of thing related to God, just like, so you have to have some kind of way to archetype to kind of frame it. So I don't know exactly how it works like that, but the Vedas explain that this world is like a dim reflection of the true reality. Whatever we see here is like what's going on in the ultimate reality, except it's in its pure form there and it's eternal. This is all, like just kind of coming and going. And it's full of suffering and sorrows. There's happiness and distress here. Temporary happiness and temporary distress. and it cycles around. You can get caught in it for lifetimes upon lifetimes. Therefore, saviors come here and show us, lead us to worshiping their transcendental presence and be saved. So that I said above other side. I don't know. Not quite getting you. Sorry about that. Yeah. Okay, now I have to go work on the car there, Richard. I'll be back a little later. I've got to get some auto repairs done here. So I'll see you later. I'll be back. Thanks for joining and listening and interacting here. Yeah, I said above other side. It's still not quite clear now. Okay, well, have a nice morning, Richard, and everybody who watches this video. I hope this helped clarify some things.